Good evening, preppers. How's everyone doing? SHTF here, another couch talk. So just got out of work, uh, spent the family time, got all my chores done. Figured I'd go over a little bit of knowledge tonight. So what I'm going to do is I jotted down what are the 15 items every prepper should hoard or stockpile, however you want to consider it. So this was kind of a hard one, even to get 15. There's a lot of stuff you need. So this is just 15 that I came up with that I think are fairly important, obviously. So some of these are going to be self-explanatory. Other ones are going to be my opinion. So there's no right or wrong answer here. It's just these are the 15 I picked. So starting with number one, obviously is going to be water and water filtration methods or systems. Guys, I always repeat this, but a lot of people say have 1 gallon, per person per day. I say store as much as you can, because 1 gallon, one per person per day for 3 months is a lot of water anyway. So store as much as you can because you're going to use more than you think. Next is going to be invest in water filtration system of some sort. There's all different kinds. So when I say hoard, I mean that. So as many of them as you can get, you're going to need them, especially in SHTF. So there's different kinds you can think of, like you got the Berkeys. I love Berkey. I have a big Berkey, but the filters right now are hard to get for the actual Berkey company. So there's other ones you can purchase. You just do a little bit of research, and there's also Berkey knockoffs. You can do that, or you can make your own Berkey. Just get the filters, get 2 5-gallon buckets, put the exact size hole that you need to put the filter in, and get a little spout, just like you would on your Berkey. Put that in the bottom of the bucket and use it the same way. So that would be the cheapest way to do it. You could probably get 4 buckets and 2 sets of replacement filters for the same price as a big Berkey. So it just depends on what you want to do. And then all of your other filters, like I said, there's no right or wrong answer. So if you got Life Straw, whichever one you have, they'll all be fine. Any of them you can pick up, like Life Straws and different filters you can get on Amazon all the time, dirt cheap. They come up on sale all the time. Having those, you can stick them anywhere. I've got Life Straws or different filters, multiples in my bug out bag, multiples in my get home bag, multiples in my truck. And then I don't even know how many I have stacked in my storage. No right or wrong answer, but you got to have water, you got to have the filters, and think of it as portable use and home use. So you want some that are small and some that are big. All right, moving on to the next one. Non-perishable foods. So again, I'm just going to rattle off some stuff. There's no right or wrong answer here. So you're going to want to stockpile canned goods, freeze-dried meals, rice, beans, any kind of other long-lasting food items. You could consider MREs for the convenience in a crisis. They're not necessarily the best choice, but or the cheapest. But there's no right. There's nothing wrong with them. I have MREs too. You can do Mountain House meals. There's all kinds of, we'll call it prepper food out there that you can get pre-made, or if you have money or you can afford it, you could get your own Harvest Right freeze dryer and make all your own stuff. The upfront cost is between $2,300 and we'll call it $3,000 for a small or a medium, and then you can go there's one bigger size after that if you really want to do it, and then the pumps and all the other stuff. But if you were going to try to stock away canned goods and rice and beans and everything for a year, you got to do the cost on is buying the machine and then trying to do it all yourself, the same price or not. So that's number 2. Number 3 is medical supplies. You're going to want to invest in a good one and get actual, good medical stuff. So when I say supplies, that's going to include your first aid kits, so your bandages, antiseptic wipes, pain relievers, and then your IFAC, because you should have both. So you should have an IFAC and a first aid kit, for obvious reasons. I would say when you're talking about medical supplies, you're going to want to have some extra multivitamins. That's going to be important in SHTF, and antibiotics. I mean, right now they've made antibiotics so easy to obtain through telehealth. I use Jace Medical. It's been great. They offer, the kits that they have, and now they offer, depending on what your script is, you can get a year at one time. So there's no reason now to run out of your pills, and there's no reason now not to have antibiotics in your kit. It's really not that expensive if you think about it, a couple $100. That's number 3. Number 4 is going to be firearms and ammunition. So pretty self-explanatory. So you're going to have your firearms for all different things. So you're going to have home defense, hunting, and personal protection. You could just get an AR-15 and pretty much do the same. You could do home defense. You can hunt with it, and it's good for personal protection. Or if you like AK-47s, I mean, it's all on what you want. You like bolt action Remington 700s. Again, it's not the best for, say, personal protection or home defense, but it's a gun. So whatever gun you have is what you're going to want to hoard and stockpile ammo for. I would say that, for me, I think every good prepper firearm stash should have a 22 rifle, some type of 5.56, 308, or 7.62, we'll call it battle rifle, a shotgun, 12 gauge, and a pistol. So that would be the ultimate, pillar to achieve with your firearms, is that, because all those guns right there can cover you in basically any situation you would need. Now with that, you're going to be stockpiling the multiple calibers. So 22, whatever your battle rifle is, whatever your pistol is, and then 12 gauge shotgun. So you're going to want to get as much of that ammo once you get your firearms as possible, because ammo will get scarce. When the stores aren't open, nowhere to buy ammo. So unless you've got all the components to reload and know how to reload and you're proficient, you're going to get what you get. So that's why I say that's the best thing to do. And if you're asking me what order, get your pistol and get your rifle, because you're going to want to keep that pistol on you for personal protection and self-defense. And then you want to get your rifle, and then it's up to you after that. But that's just my opinion. Other people will say other things. You'll only need one gun. I don't agree. All right. Number 5, waterproof matches and fire starters. So again, you're going to want to get a bunch of waterproof matches, Bic lighters, real cheap, and then fire starting kits. You could build your own. So you get your magnesium, your flint and steel, your ferro rods. Start collecting all that stuff up, because you're going to need all of it. Because remember, fire is essential for cooking, warmth, and signaling. Fire is life. Just like water is life, fire is life in an emergency situation. Number 6 is going to be multi-tools and hand tools. So a solid multi-tool you're going to want to get, if you can afford it. If not, get an Amazon special. But if you can, get a Leatherman, something good like that. Whichever one you like the best. There's so many different ones. There's not one for me to recommend here, but whatever Leatherman you like, that's the one you're going to get. And then hand tools, it's another one I can't express how important it is to have at your homestead or your bug out location. Is you're going to need them. Axes, hammers, wrenches, saws, any of that stuff. Chainsaws. I mean, if you can stock the fuel for all that stuff, any kind of any kind of power tool, and then think if power tools aren't an option. So like your hand drills, any kind of that old school tool, stockpile it. Any kind of drill bit, stockpile it. Any kind of wrench, stockpile it. Any kind of socket, screwdrivers, any of that stuff, stockpile it. Because you're going to need it, guaranteed. Fortifying things, there's always a use for any of that stuff I just mentioned. So next we're going to go, it's number 7. It's going to be fuel. So your propane, your gasoline, your diesel. So you want to make sure you're storing it safely, obviously, and treated. So if you're going to keep it, you got to treat it. So make sure if you have your generator, your vehicle, cooking, and then you're still going to want to rotate everything so it doesn't degrade. So include the stabilizer, so you can extend the life on all that stuff, for the gas, and make sure you can fuel those. Now I know in a shit hits the fan situation, generators are always talked about. Do I use it? Do I not? That's a decision you have to make. For this video, I think that you should stockpile the fuel, so I'm covering that part of it. Which brings me to the next one, is generators and solar chargers. So having a backup generator, in my opinion, is essential. You have to have one, because you're not just talking about SHTF. It could be any kind of SHTF. Could be a storm, could be no power. The shit hits the fan to me is anytime I need to use any of my equipment for anything. That's the shit hits the fan for me. If I'm digging in my equipment, I got a problem. As well as solar chargers. So a lot of people have them, those little solar generators, solar panels on your house, all that stuff. If you can prep it, that's good. But if you're going to have that stuff, you should have all kinds of replacement attachments and wires and all that other stuff that goes with it. Because I see a lot of people have these systems, they put them together, they're awesome. But what happens when all the wires fail or a rat chews it? So just keep that in mind. If you're going to run stuff like that, it's just like anything. You got your Hoard we're going to cover that one next, but batteries. But if you're going to have solar panels, make sure you got backup cables and wires and all that stuff. And, think about it. So if you have a small solar system, you're going to have your charge controller and your inverter. Well, charge controllers are cheap. For a smaller system, have an extra. Just stuff to think about. Next, moving on, number 9, batteries in various sizes. Hoard batteries. You're going to need them, whether they're rechargeable or not. Just get them, because they're going to go in all your flashlights, your radios, all your essential devices. And then you can still pair your rechargeable batteries with your solar charger. So if you go back up one to number 8, generators and solar chargers, it all kind of links in. So batteries, you're going to need them. And then you kind of think, so you got security, so you got flashlights. Any of the guys running night vision, nods, your thermals, depends on what devices you have. You're going to need batteries, and you're going to need a lot of them. All right, next one, number 10. Hygiene and sanitation supplies, very important. So stockpile soap, hand sanitizer, disinfectants, toilet paper, any kind of cleaner. Also consider portable toilets, or make your own. You can get a 5-gallon bucket, for cheap, and then you can buy for like 10 or 15 bucks on Amazon a seat that snaps on. Put a bag in it, or however you want to do it, you got a toilet. So that's a really good option if you can't flush a toilet, and if you don't want to go outside, you just have that in the bathroom in front of the toilet, use it, and then move on. A couple things to consider with that. Number 11, flashlights and headlamps. Like LED flashlights and headlamps are great, especially with the headlamps. That's going to give you hands-free lighting and low light condition. So it's perfect. They also make rechargeable versions, which if you go, if you have the capability to recharge them, that's great too. So I like to have a mix of both. I love the ones I can just plug in and charge and go, and then I love the ones where put a battery in and I can use it. But you're gonna want to mix and match, and you can never have too many flashlights. You have good ones and you have cheap ones. Different stages and different uses. So you're not going to carry around a cheap flashlight in your EDC, but you could have a cheap flashlight in your bug out bag, or a couple of headlamps in your bug out bag. I like to have a few. So I got one for me. If I link up with somebody or someone else needs one, I got a backup. So I usually have 2 or 3 headlamps. They're cheap, double AAA batteries, and then I have extra batteries. All right. Next one, number 12. It's going to be heirloom seeds for your garden. You're going to want to keep a good supply of that. You got to grow food. So you might as well learn how to do that. That's a skill. You're not just going to throw the seeds in and they're going to grow and you're going to have this luscious prepper garden. It's not how it works. You need to garden every year to get good, get dialed in. But then at the same time, you're going to want to, train yourself, to garden, and then you're going to want to hoard those seeds. So any kind of heirloom seed, get it and stack it to the rafters. Also great for barter items. Number 13, radio communication devices. So two-way radio, so like bullfangs, those are always cheap to buy. They work good, despite what a lot of the hams will cry and complain about them. I'm an extra class ham. I have a lot of radios. I have a great ham shack, but I've got a bunch of those radios because I can program them quick. I can hand them out. If I have to go on patrol, I have comms. If, homestead security, I have comms. Anywhere we go in vehicle convoy, I have comms. So if they're cheap and you can afford them, again, stack them to the rafters. And then ham radio. So for short, medium, and long distance communication, ham is a great option. And there's all different types of radios. I highly recommend any kind of prepper getting into the hobby. It's going to open your eyes on what it really takes to communicate. So ham radio is definitely in the group with number 13. Number 14, it's going to be personal defense items, so knives and tactical gear. You're going to want to hoard quality knives, machetes, and any kind of personal defense item. You can never have too many of them. And then tactical gear. So think about like body armor, gloves, sturdy boots, protection, extra utility uniforms, pants, all that stuff you're going to want to hoard. So a lot of people, when you get into like the body armor and the plates, people are going to say all different things about it. For me, I have it. I got soft armor, I've got AR 500 plates, and I've got ceramics. I've just kind of picked up different ones, and whenever I could pick up some AR 500s cheap, I'm buying them. Because someone may need them. Every time I see a plate carrier, a nice one, something that's somewhat sturdy on sale, I'm going to pick it up. So now, shit hits the fan. Part of my plan is to train and outfit. So if I got a couple guys in my neighborhood and I need to supplement my unit or my team, I'm good to go. Got plate carrier, got rifle, got whatever, if they got guns, just another level of protection. So again, everyone gets a little weird with that. Oh, I'm not going to wear it. I'm not going to move fast. Whatever. There's different situations for me. I think it's a must. And number 15, barter items. So what are some barter items? So we got alcohol, cigarettes. Coffee is huge. Everyone wants coffee. Even silver. You think about silver, so you got your constitutional silver, your bullion. I got all that stuff. It's just another level of preparedness. And if they're not taking U.S. money or you can't get money, you got your silver, you got your gold. Perfect. Also, barter items, think about it. Extra medical supplies, extra ammo, extra hygiene gear. All that stuff's going to be in high demand and for trade. So that's it. Those are the 15 essential items that will ensure you as a prepper will be ready for the SHTF, um, or your self-defense or long-term stability, however you want to look at it. But that's just my take on the 15 items, and this is SHTF. I'm going to be signing off now for tonight, and keep prepping. Oh, please like and subscribe.